Hello, my lovelies! A Christmas Carol. I know it, you know it, no doubt you've read or seen at least one adaptation of it. Ebenezer Scrooge's story of redemption has been told so many times, and I, for one, love it, especially any adaptation willing to get a little bit dark. So today, to get into the Yuletide spirit, pun intended, I'm going to be designing my take on the Ghost of Christmas Past. Let's go! The Ghost of Christmas Past has always been an interesting figure to me. They are described as an ephemeral spirit that appears to be both old and young at the same time, 1,000 people at once, with light streaming from the top of its head. This is the first ghost Scrooge encounters, showing him scenes from his past and visions of his own childhood. Unlike the Ghost of Christmas Present and Ghost of Christmas Future, the Ghost of Christmas Past has a lot more leeway in terms of appearance. Present is described in more concrete, objective ways, which is why, out of all three ghosts, he's the most consistent across all media that he appears in. Past, while unknowable and eerie, does still have a common theme and often begets skeleton and Grim Reaper motifs. The past is a bit different, and I wanted to offer my own spin. My favourite quote about the Ghost of Christmas Past, and funnily enough the one that dictated my design for her here, is the following. Scrooge then made bold to inquire what business brought him there. "Your welfare," said the ghost. Scrooge expressed himself much obliged, but could not help thinking that a night of unbroken rest would have been more conducive to that end. The spirit must have heard him thinking, for it said immediately, "Your reclamation, then? Take heed." This is something stalwart and prudent about the Ghost of Christmas Past that I always enjoyed. They were practical, no nonsense, and to me this immediately evoked images of a stern but kind matronly individual. Scrooge has lost love in the past, and like many of us, had a mother or maternal figure at some point in his life, so this felt like just the right nostalgic hint. However, the winters and Christmases of the past were also harsh and stark, often cold and dimly lit. They didn't have the luxury of the kinds of heating and buildings that we have now, and the children of Scrooge's past didn't have the luxuries that Scrooge had as an adult. I wanted my Ghost of Christmas Past to evoke a timeless feel. She's a matronly woman who is both young and old, and a spirit that represents a light in the dark and cold, the happy and harsh memories we have around Christmas time. Here's about the point in the process I realised I was fighting my gut instinct to cover this in painted over details, told myself to go hog wild, put that in writing, and then decided to save the rest of my craziness for the render process, and to stop touching the line art. Go me! If I were to go back and redo some of this, I think one thing I would do is try and make her clothing a little bit more time era appropriate. To the untrained eye at first glance, this might look like roughly the right attire for the era, but if you wanted her to be wearing something from Ebenezer Scrooge's childhood, you can actually place that in a fashion decade at least 100 years before this dress was a thing. There's a whole timeline that can place whenabouts Ebenezer would have grown up, and this isn't very historically accurate, so please don't judge me for that. If I were to do it again, I promise I would make it accurate. I had someone the other day ask me why I use strong, high saturation or dark colours when I'm laying down my flats. In short, it helps me see gaps and make sure I've not missed a spot. The more you know. Alrighty folks, I'm going to leave you to it. Sit back, relax, enjoy a little bit of speed painting, and I'll see you at the end. And there she is. How did I do? What did you think? I know it's a little early for Christmas, but I just couldn't help myself. The creativity bug got me and I didn't say no. If you have any thoughts or suggestions on how you would have done it, or how you imagine the other ghosts of Christmas present or Christmas past, then, leave a comment or a like if you have the time. And speaking of time, I'll catch all of you next time.